My name's Peter Sherwen and I'm speaking to members on behalf of the board of the Kew Golf Club. The board feels that this is an appropriate time to update members about the extraordinary circumstances we now have with the flooding of the course. Just before I talk more about Kew, I think we should acknowledge that there's many people and places in a much worse situation than us. The communities of northern Victoria and in fact the whole of Eastern Australia are having a terrible time with homes lost, businesses lost and even some lives lost. But coming back to Kew, I think all our members will be aware that we've now had 2 floods in the last month. The 2 floods occurred precisely 2 weeks apart. And to give you an idea of the severity, members are probably aware of the pump house to the right of the 7th green. Inside the walls of the pump house, all the historic floods at Kew have been recorded, and our second flood on this occasion is the highest flood that's been at Kew for 70 years. The second flood's also unique in that the water's been very slow to drain from the course because of the high river levels. The river remains very high, not because of the rain here, but because of the water coming from upstream. To drain the course, we need our outlet drains to be below the river level, and at this stage that hasn't occurred, and therefore we still have lots of surface water lying on the course. I thought I might just take you through some different aspects of the course and let you know how they're faring. We're very worried about greens, but fortunately the course staff have been able to get onto greens as soon as it's been accessible. They have cleared the silt from the greens, they have cored the greens, treated them with fungicide, and there will be a little bit of green damage, and we'll probably need some oversowing of grass on some of the greens. Another area of concern is the fescue surrounds. Our greens are surrounded by a small area of fescue grass, and we're a bit worried that the fescue will be particularly hard hit by the floods, and it's likely that some returfing of the fescue will be necessary. The fescue was fantastic over our winter months, as were our bunkers. Our bunkers have improved so much, and one of the tragedies of this flood is that the bunkers will actually need lots of repair work. We are lucky that the concrete aggregate is largely intact, but most of the sand will need to be replaced, and members are probably aware that when we replace the sand, it will take some time to distribute the sand properly around the bunkers. After the first flood, we were very confident that the fairways would recover well, but on this occasion we have 3 fairways, particularly the 12th, the 13th and the 3rd, where the fairways have been underwater for, in fact, several weeks. We won't know what the condition of these fairways is like till the water drains, but we suspect there'll be significant damage to those fairways. Our paths, the gravel paths, will largely be washed away and require some repair work and also replacement of the gravel on the paths. Clearly all this damage will have a financial cost, perhaps in the hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we are currently talking to our insurers to see how much of that we can recover. Members will also be interested in our likely return to golf. We are hoping that there may be some golf in November, but we are very uncertain about the fairways I previously mentioned, that being the 3rd hole, the 12th and the 13th. And I would say it's very unlikely we'll be playing a full 18 holes of golf until well into December. It also requires rescheduling of lots of our golf events. Our golf committee with Matt and Anthony are currently working on a revised schedule, and this will be published as soon as it's finalised. It's likely that our knockout events will have an extended finishing date of the end of January, and our club championships, which were due to be played in November, will most likely be played in early 2023, most likely in February. Our staff, our core staff in particular, led by Cam, have done fantastic repair work already. I'm very conscious of how disheartening it must be for them knowing that they do all that work, but the course could flood again at any time. And in fact, I think there is forecast significant rain next week again. But they are working tirelessly, and let's hope it doesn't sort of flood on them again after all their hard work. To the members, I thank you for your patience, and I also thank you for your help. We've held one working bee, and once the water's cleared and we know what work we can get on with, we will arrange a second working bee once this second flood has gone down. I hope our members have enjoyed playing the other courses that have been arranged for us to have tea times at. Thanks to Matt and Anthony in particular for arranging these tea times. But I would also like to thank all the clubs that have offered their support and tea times to us. Not only the clubs, but the golf industry as a whole has been very supportive of our situation. I would also ask all members to keep supporting the club by attending the clubhouse and the pro shop. Clubhouse for hospitality, but it would be great if people could also patronise the pro shop and consider purchasing anything that they may need from there. It's been a tough couple of years for the club with COVID, and now the worst floods we've had in 70 years. We will continue to update members as the circumstances change. I hope everyone stays well as we wait to get all of our members back to our great club as soon as possible.